Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Delhi Township Board of Trustees meeting for October the 12th, 2016. As is our usual practice, we will begin with a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. It's hard to believe, but tonight's moment of silence is again dedicated to the loss of police officers. Tonight we join the city of Palm Springs, California, as they mourn the loss of 2 officers, and we also are reminded for the safety of our own officers. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, tonight we are joined by the Boy Scouts from Troop 301 from Rapid Run Middle School, who are here working on their citizen and community badge. Is that correct, guys? Yeah. All right, well, welcome. All right, Mr. Luby, can we begin with motions for consideration?
Motion 2016-169, approve the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting held on September 28th, 2016, and dispense with the reading.
I've moved motion 2016-169 to approve the minutes.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes.
Motion 2016-170, approve bills for payment.
I move motion 2016-170 to approve bills for payment.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 2016-171, approve the payment of overtime for pay period ending September 27th, 2016.
I've moved motion 2016-171 to approve payment of overtime.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 2016-172, accept the resignation of Joshua J. Feldhaus, part-time firefighter paramedic in the fire department, effective October 18th, 2016.
I've moved motion 2016-172 to accept the resignation of Joshua J. Veldhaus.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 2016-173, approve the acceptance of the renewal for Delhi Township's property and casualty insurance through Ohio Plan Risk Management, Inc., effective 11/1/2016 to 10/31/2017.
I've moved motion 2016-173 to approve the acceptance of the renewal for Delhi Township's property and casualty insurance.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 2016-174, approve the voluntary reassignment of Joseph A. Abel from career firefighter paramedic to part-time firefighter paramedic in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association, effective October 28th, 2016.
I move motion 2016-174 to approve the voluntary reassignment of Joseph A. Abel.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 2016-175, approve the following promotions in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with Professional Firefighters Local 3389 IAFF. Walter J. Russell, from career firefighter EMT to career firefighter paramedic, effective October 29th, 2016. Benjamin E. Pritchard, from part-time firefighter EMT to career firefighter EMT, effective October 29th, 2016. Jeremy K. Nehe, from part-time firefighter EMT to career firefighter EMT, effective October 13th, 2016.
I move motion 2016-175 to approve the following promotions of Walter J. Russell, Benjamin E. Pritchard, and Jeremy K. Nehe.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 2016-176, approve the hiring of Douglas R. Lale, Robbie J. Ray, Sean A. Vanover Sr., and Adam C. Wilsbach, all for the position of part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association, effective on or after October 13th, 2016.
I move motion 2016-176 to approve the hiring of Douglas R. Laley, Robbie J. Ray, Sean A. Vanover Sr., and Adam C. Wilsbach.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 2016-177, approve the conditional hiring of Jacob R. Urban for the position of part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of the National Registry exam for EMT Basic with a hire date on or after October 13th, 2016.
I move motion 2016-177 to approve the conditional hiring of Jacob R. Urban.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 2016-178, approve the use of the special event request form for use by the Parks and Recreation Department.
I move motion 2016-178 to approve the use of the special event request form for the use of the Parks and Recreations Department.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 2016-179, approve the notice of the addition and scheduling of the Board of Trustees public meeting dates for the 2017 budget meetings on Tuesday, November 15th, 2016, and Wednesday, November 16th, 2016, both at 5 p.m. at the Delhi Township Administration Building.
I move motion 2016-179 to approve the notice of scheduling of the Board of Trustees public meeting dates for the 2017 budget meetings.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 2016-180, approve the proclamation and declaring Saturday, October 22nd, 2016, as Celebrate Delhi Day at the Mount, celebrating the community at the Mount St. Joseph University's homecoming football game.
I move motion 2016-180 to approve the proclamation declaring Saturday, October 22nd, 2016, as Celebrate Delhi Day at the Mount.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 2016-181, approve the ending probationary period for Gregory J. DeLong, Community Development Director, and 1% increase to biweekly rate of $2,602.69, effective at end date of probationary period, September 21st, 2016.
I've moved motion 2016-181 to approve the ending probationary period for Gregory J. DeLong and 1% increase.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes. Presentations this evening. We will begin with Jackie O'Connell, who's going to speak to us tonight about the great parks of Hamilton County.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here, not just to tell you about our great park system, but my husband's family is from Delhi, and my daughter's a proud graduate of St. Dominic, so we've spent a lot of time in the township. So what I want to tell you tonight is Great Parks is, as you know, it's your county park system. We've got 17,000 acres throughout the county, 21 parks and preserves, including Emshoff Woods, which is in the township, and Fernbank and Mitchell Memorial Forest, which are close by. This year, we are up for a replacement levy. Our 15-year levy is coming up. So we're asking the voters for a 1 mil replacement. We've had a 1 mil levy for the past 28 years. It's last approved in 2002. This year, we're asking for a 10-year 1 mil replacement levy. The levy is important to us, as I know your levy is important to you, because for us, it's 55% of our operating budget. The other 45% is non-tax revenue, so for us, that's grants, sponsorship, fees, et cetera. The 45% is something we're very proud of, because in a study of our peer groups of other park districts from around the state, the average earned revenue is 7%. So it's something that we're very happy with, or very proud of. We've spent a lot of time considering this levy and what our ask would be. For the past 3 years, we've had an intensive needs assessment going on with not only staff, but others involved in the community. We've had our board commissioned a task force of 12 citizen representatives from throughout the county of diverse backgrounds and affiliations to help us vet what we should be doing in the future. We asked the state auditor to come in and do a performance audit for us, which they completed last year. We also commissioned UC to do an economic impact study for us, which showed that every dollar that we take in tax revenue, we turn into over $4 of economic development for the community. And then most importantly, we went to the citizens. We had 12 public listening sessions around the county this spring, including one at Glen Carter Lodge, where we asked the residents of the county, what would you like to see in your park system? What's important to you? What's important to your family and your future? And from that is where we came up with our replacement ask. So all I do is I ask for your support. We are issue 52. We are close to the bottom of the ballot, but we think we're just as important as or more than what's on the top of the ballot this year. So if you guys have any questions for me, I would be happy. I just appreciate your time.
Trustee Oswald?
Nothing, thank you.
Trustee Sturts?
No, thank you.
No, nothing for me either. Thank you very much, Jackie.
Thank you very much.
All right, following that, we have a bicentennial update from Pete Pritchard, the steering committee chairman.
Good evening, all of you. I got just 4 things to pass on to you for the month of October. First one's October 18th, Delhi Seniors. They're hosting an open house there on Neeb Road from 1 to 4 p.m., October 18th. Open house will feature cornhole games, dancing. A choral group is going to perform as well. They will have snacks and drinks, and all are invited to come see what they do down there. October 22nd, the Delhi Historical Society is conducting a cemetery tour. It's a little different in it, but it's kind of interesting, actually. I know it sounds a little morbid, but it does. But anyway, they're going to do a bus tour of 4 cemeteries here. And Peg Schmidt, with the Historical Society, is kind of going to conduct a tour and talk about who was buried there. That's so-called famous here in the western side of town, or Cincinnati in general. So it'll be kind of an interesting thing. But that's October 22nd at 1 p.m. to meet at the farmhouse. And they'll get on the bus, and they'll be back there by 4 p.m. But like I said, this is indeed a guided tour. For more information, you can get on the website for the Historical Society, delhihistoricalsociety.org. So the Delhi Fire Department is conducting their annual open house Sunday, October the 30th from 1 to 4 p.m. There will be many events, of course, for the kids and adults as well. Going to feature quite a few things. One of them is the Miami Township Safe House, which is kind of like I guess you could say it's almost like a mobile home, but it's obviously to teach fire safety and so on. And that's always a big thing. Steve Clater is going to be here with his canine partner, Rudy, who's kind of a sniffing dog for accelerants and arson and so on. So he'll be there. So we'll, of course, the Delhi patrolman, Jeff Miller, with his dog, Levi. Also, attraction this year is a kind of a big one. We're going to have the University Air Care helicopter land at Our Lady of Victory behind the church at 12:30 to show people. So we're hoping we're going to have a few people come out for that as well. Of course, we're going to have guided tours for the Fire Museum, and the Fire Museum turns 10 years old, so we're celebrating our 10th anniversary. So we're going to have a few vintage fire trucks that will be on display at the firehouse there on Neeb Road as well. So a lot going on there. Be remiss not to mention for the end of the year, the Bicentennial Gala being held at the farm Saturday, December the 3rd, 7 p.m. Same day, as you well know, for the Christmas parade. So it's going to be kind of a full day there. But Bob Herzog of Local 12 News will be the MC for the evening. And of course, the Pete Wagner Band is going to be our entertainment. So the corporate sponsor, or I should say the major sponsor of that, is, of course, Mount St. Joseph University. And the corporate sponsor is Buckeye Land Title for Chip Brigham. So they wanted me to pass on as well that the Historical Society is still looking for more sponsors for the evening. So we would kind of want to get that out. But for any, again, more additional information, again, delhihistoricalsociety.org. So those are the 4 big events, at least for 3 of them here for this month. So that's our update.
And we still have some cookbooks.
We do. And we sure would like to make a hot sale on them. So for anyone that would like to buy 1, 2, or 4, or 10, don't be shy about it, and let us know.
Great. Thank you, Pete.
Yes, thank you.
All right, trustees' correspondence. I'd first like to begin saying on behalf of the Board of Trustees, we would like to congratulate the following: Walter J. Russell, Benjamin E. Pritchard, and Jeremy Nehe for their promotions within the Delhi Township Fire Department. We're very proud of these guys, and I'm very happy that our promotions are from within. So thank you. Congratulations. Trustee Oswald?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Trustee Sturts?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Okay. Forward. Report from the fiscal officer. Mr. Luby?
Our FAB meetings on October 18th, November 15th, and December 20th are canceled. The reason being our FAB members will be conducting meetings with the department heads going over, conducting the budget reviews in October, and also they'll be attending the budget meetings in November. That's all I have.
No need for public hearings. We do have a report from departments this evening. Josh Torbeck, Director of Parks.
Thank you, trustees. Obviously, we have a levy coming up, and we want to have an open house for the public to come in and ask questions, inquire about the levy. We have 2 dates, October 19th, Wednesday night from 5 to 7 at the Glen Carter Lodge, and a second date, Wednesday, November 2nd at the Glen Carter Lodge. It's a great opportunity. It's one-on-one or multiple people, whatever you want. It's not going to be me lecturing about it. You'll come in, ask questions, have conversations. It's going to be a relaxed atmosphere, so it'll be a good opportunity to come in, ask questions. Or if you're interested in being involved or getting involved, it's a good time to come in and ask questions about how you can do that as well. So please come out. I'm happy to answer all questions. Like I said, my office is always open, but this is a good opportunity to come out after normal business hours and talk and conversate about the levy.
Again, what was the time?
From 5 to 7 p.m.,
5 to 7?
October 19th and November 2nd. They're Wednesdays, opposite of the trustee meetings.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
No.
No, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Reading of the resolutions again then, Mr. Luby.
Resolution 2016-228, resolution approving purchase order obligations incurred on behalf of the township by the township administrator, authorizing payment of certain purchase order obligations and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-229, resolution authorizing an amendment to the agreement between the township and the Delhi Township CIC and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. Landrum?
This resolution and the one that follows, I'll kind of tackle them if you guys don't mind. Both of them are regarding some changes and amending the CIC language for the township. Basically, this is a little bit of cleanup. We've had another attorney agency review this because of some of our activities that we were engaging in, and they just wanted to clean up some of the language. One part of it's dealing with property transfers, dealing with that we don't have to necessarily from the township to the CIC on property go at fair market value. It can be any value, especially towards why we would be towards economic development. Other powers that this just ensures, like I said, some cleanup language, ensures that we as a CIC can apply for grants, and there were listed more of the things in the email correspondence I gave to you. But it's just a little bit more flexibility in the agreement between the CIC and some cleanup of the language, ensuring that the CIC is acting on behalf of the township towards economic development.
Okay, thank you.
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-230, resolution amending resolution 2015-013 and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-231, resolution authorizing and entering into a plan administrator employer pay-or agreement with Quality Care Partners on behalf of participating providers in connection with the provision of certain self-insured group health benefits for eligible employees and officers, authorizing signature and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution? HR Manager Lisa?
Yes, thank you, trustees. This is just a follow-up to our self-insurance agreements that we signed last meeting. This one is for our provider network, so physicians and hospitals that will be in our network that we're offering, and it's effective 10/1.
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-232, resolution authorizing the Township Administrator to accept a proposal from Thomas J. Dyer Company for replacement of the server room unit, evaporator coil, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-233, resolution authorizing customer service agreement with Rumpke for the collection of solid waste material and recyclables, authorizing the Public Works Director to execute the agreement and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution? I think Ron Ripperger, Public Works Director.
Yes, thank you, trustees. This is a 3-year contract with Rumpke. All the prices are staying the same, and actually recycling went down a fraction, and there is no fuel surcharge. That's about it.
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-234, resolution entering into agreement with Board of County Commissioners, Hamilton County, Ohio, the county, and the Board of Education of the Oak Hills Local Schools District, Oak Hills, to share equitably in the rental expenses for a rubber tire loader at Delhi's Salt Storage Dome, authorizing the Director of Public Works to execute the agreement and to rent the equipment and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution? Again, Ron Ripperger.
Yeah, this is something we've done for about 5 or 6 years, and it's a great way to disperse the money between 3 entities.
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-235, resolution certifying violation abatement expenses at 4362 St. Dominic Drive to the county auditor for assessment and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-236, resolution certifying violation abatement expenses at 4845 Mount Alverno Road to the county auditor for assessment and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-237, resolution declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 342 Anderson Ferry Road and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion on this resolution, Mr. DeLong?
Sure. Staff received a complaint about this address at 342 Anderson Ferry Road. The property is vacant. This is a repeat offender we've had. We did issue informal orders on the property. We inspected it this morning. It is still in the same condition, so we request that you declare it a nuisance so we can follow our nuisance abatement procedures.
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-238, resolution declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 333 Don Lane and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. DeLong?
Yeah, unfortunately, we have another repeat offender here at 333 Don Lane. As you can see, the excessive vegetation. Staff did receive a formal complaint from the neighbors about this. We did issue informal orders with no compliance. The property remains in the same condition. So we do request that you declare it a nuisance so we can follow our nuisance abatement procedures.
I move to dispense with second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-239, resolution declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 289 Francis Ridge Drive and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. DeLong?
Sure. As you can see in the photos, there's excessive vegetation here at 289 Francis Ridge Drive. This is an occupied structure. It is another repeat offender we do have. We did issue informal orders with no compliance. Property remains the same today, so we do request that you issue or declare the property a nuisance so we can follow our nuisance abatement procedures.
I move to dispense with second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading? Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-240, resolution declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation and accumulated debris at 301 Charing Cross Court and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. DeLong?
Sure. Yes, this is another occupied structure and another repeat offender we have. As you can see, there is debris and excessive vegetation, primarily in the rear yard. We did issue informal orders. There was no compliance. We inspected the property this morning. It's still in the same condition. So we do request that you declare it a nuisance so we can follow our nuisance abatement procedures.
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-241, resolution declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 5118 Mount Alverna Road and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. DeLong?
This is a first-time offender over there on Mount Alverno. This is a vacant property. We did issue informal orders, no compliance. The property remains in the same condition, so we do request that you declare it a nuisance so we can follow our nuisance abatement procedures.
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution 2016-242, resolution declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 328 Bob Drive and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Mr. DeLong?
Sure. This is an occupied structure at 328 Bob Drive. It is another repeat offender. As you can see, there's excessive vegetation, primarily, again, in the rear yard. We did issue informal orders. There was no compliance. The property looks the same today, so we request that you declare it a nuisance so we can follow our nuisance abatement procedures.
I move to dispense with the second reading.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Citizens' comments, Mr. Landrum, I have none. Okay. Announcement of community events, Mr. Luby.
The Bicentennial Celebration Delhi Seniors event will be Tuesday, October 18th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. It will be at the Delhi Senior Community Center at 647 Neeb Road. The Delhi Park Tax Levy Open House event will be Wednesday, October 19th and Wednesday, November 2nd. It will be from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Delhi Park Lodge at 5125 Foley Road. The United States Air Force Band, Concert Band, and Singing Sergeants will be Thursday, October 20th at 7 p.m. It will be at the Mount St. Joseph University Theater at 5701 Delhi Pike. The Bicentennial Celebration, Delhi Day at Mount St. Joseph University, Tailgate Party and Homecoming Game will be Saturday, October 22nd. It will be at Mount St. Joseph University at 5701 Delhi Avenue. The tailgate party starts at 11:30 a.m. and the game will be at 1:30 p.m. The Bicentennial Celebration, Delhi Historical Society Cemetery Tour will be Saturday, October 22nd. Will be from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Bus transportation provided. Check in at Delhi Historical Society Farmhouse between 12:30 and 12:50. Delhi Branch Library, Mary Cunningham, wife of Ohio body snatcher William Cunningham, will be Tuesday, October 25th. Be at the Delhi Branch Library at 5095 Foley Road at 7 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. Luby. We do have need for executive session this evening, so if I may have the motion, please.
Motion 2016-182 to retire to executive session for preparing for bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment.
I've moved motion 2016-182 to retire to executive session for preparing for bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment.
I second the motion.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Motion passes. That concludes our regular meeting for this evening. Love to see you back on October the 26th. Have a good, safe trip. Anyway, I'm leaving.